Salutation and welcome to the Serpent Holder Tarot. Today is going to be a general reading where I pull some cards for you and discern a message. My style of reading is between my viewer and me, meaning if you want the reading to be about another party aside from you and me, then that person needs to be present with you watching the video. So take that into account, and we'll see what this card is. The Knight of Swords, interesting. I don't know. I think I can link and attach a complimentary video to this one. But my previous video that I did, the Page of Swords came out, and now we move to the Knight of Swords. We're progressing. Now, the Page, Knight, and King are no better than the other. They just have different positions, different roles. A knight can take out a king, and a page can take out a knight, and vice versa. Put it all around, switch it up, switch the order up. Now, my style is not to ask specific questions, because in tarot, I believe that as the tarot reader, I should have the answers. I don't believe that I should be asking questions. So what I do is interpret. Now, I don't know the reason, and I could have said I don't know why we've progressed so quickly to the Knight of Swords. I would have liked to have spent more time on the Page of Swords, but this is a direct communication that my viewers, at least the ones watching this video, are, and I suppose you could say that we progressed this quickly because the first task that was insinuated in the previous video is not difficult to complete. The first assignment in that was assigned to you in that video is not difficult to complete. So you could have watched that video. You could watch that video and then watch this one and complete both tasks within a day, realistically. I don't know. I'm still not certain whether or not I want people to communicate with my lover, Evelyn Lynette Quinones. I'm not sure I want people to contact her on my behalf to express to her my love. For those of you that do not know, we're in separation. She's blocked me, and it seems she wants nothing to do with me. But what good are knights? What good are pages, or patrons as I call them? What good is all the, what good is all the business moguls in the world, the pages? And what good are all the soldiers in the world if I can't use you? If I can't get you to win something that isn't an army? It's my own choices that broke us apart. Now, we could have separated for other reasons, even if I hadn't done what I had done. And I don't think there's any scenario where I wouldn't have gotten into the tarot. So I would still be here talking to you, maybe from a different perspective. It might have lasted longer, though. We might have been together years longer. That I'm sure. Uh, maybe not. I don't know what was going on inside of her. I don't know how to the edge she was to the determination of breaking up. I don't know how close she was. I never could gauge that. But my Knight of Swords, specifically my Libras, I need you more than I ever have. And I've always needed you throughout my entire life. I don't have very many Libra connections. The only Libra connection I have, strong Libra connection that I have, is I have my great aunt is a Libra. And we're not particularly close, but we're not estranged either. We just, different age group, different, like we don't, I mean, that doesn't necessarily always um, restrict people from getting close to each other, but we aren't super close. The only Libra that I've been close to is an ex-girlfriend that I dated when I was in middle school, at the end of middle school in 8th grade. But Libra, I need the previous message was primarily targeted toward Geminis if I were to put astrology into it. If you don't feel comfortable with astrology being mentioned into it, which I find hard to believe if you're into tarot, um, but it can be fluid. Now, there are rigid aspects of the tarot, and I try to stick to the letter of the law when it comes to that. A knight, if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully I'm not, I'm tempted to look it up. Um, Let me look it up. But a knight is genderless. It's a genderless word by definition. I'm going to check right now. Knight. No, a knight is a gendered word. Let me see. Hold on. A knight is a gendered word. That's a man. That doesn't mean that women do not play a role in the tarot. And I get that people, it's commonplace to say that gender is fluid, that the tarot has no gender, and stuff like that. But words have to have meaning, and we can't devalue those words. So I can tell you that this doesn't make me happy to say, because the quality of people, the quality of men, the quality of males is such that I'm not sure that there is a caliber of knight worthy to be considered a knight, or that there's a caliber of man worthy to be considered a knight. There are good men out there, and I hope this finds you. I hope you can look past the history of tarot readers and the tendency to focus on love in a very gamey kind of way, gamified kind of way. But I need my nights as an Aquarius in Western astrology, not in Vedic. In Vedic, I'm a Capricorn. So take that information as you will. But I need my nights. I keep saying that because I truly do need them. And it's not that. Now, what makes you my nights? Well, you should know and should be aware of the identity of the tarot reader that you're talking to. Everyone, it is not difficult for everyone to buy a tarot deck. Everyone could have one. They're from that, they're more accessible than ever before. But from that come in filters that, there's a bunch of filters as to why people do not have tarot decks, that why everyone does not have a tarot deck. There's a bunch of filters. But it's not, there is a difficulty about it, but it's not because of difficulty. Although it is because of difficulty. It's difficult in some ways and not difficult in others. I am the emperor of the tarot. And I should emphasize of the tarot, the Thee. I am the emperor, Thee, of the tarot. I am the emperor of the age of Aquarius. This is my identity. Now, I'm hesitant to use the word, this is my claim, but it is a claim, I suppose. It's a claim based on things that I feel are evidence, but I require more evidence personally to feel comfortable completely dismissing the word claim. And I'm asking you to look past not just the history of tarot, but any arrogance that you might feel is implied by this. From my interpretation, and that is what I do, I interpret the cards and I interpret life. I consider myself an existential consultant more than a tarot reader. But as I interpret, my zodiac sign places me as an Aquarius. The next age, or the age that we are already in, is said to be Aquarius. Now, where I verge from anything that I have seen written, where I verge from any prehistoric, or not prehistoric, but prehistorical context, is that the age of Aquarius is the last age. It will not repeat. It will not go in a cycle. Aquarius represents infinite time. It is an age that will go on forever. It is the last age. It is the age where our technology and our civilization propels itself into an infinite state. Now, whether I'm immortal or not is neither here nor there. There is also there is one path before me, and that is the great work. I have to improve the quality of human beings on this planet. And that is a very difficult task to do because people can be so fake. And can you be authentic and fake at the same time? Yes, you can. Now, my sun sign not only indicates that I am the Emperor of the Age of Aquarius, the King of Swords, which is Aquarius, the Knight of Swords, which is Libra, and the Page of Swords, which is Gemini. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought. The key thing is, there we go, is that who am I to rely on if I cannot rely on my own kind? My own kind being the suit of air. There are indications in pop culture that hinted I would be here. Avatar, The Last Airbender is an indication. The Last Airbender, the last Aquarius, the last Emperor of the Age of Aquarius. Now, we won't know definitively whether or not this is more than just a claim for several decades. And I ask that in that time, you treat me normally. You treat me as a person giving you genuine interpretation of actionable steps and insights and other things that I do, rituals and spells and protections and stuff like that. You treat me as a normal individual to who is doing their best to provide a service, which is to improve the quality of your soul, to improve the caliber of your soul. There are sayings like once a cheater, always a cheater. Once a liar, always a liar, which kind of goes with, this isn't a saying that I've heard, but basically, if you're a liar through and through. If you're a cheater through and through. And I, as a person who has cheated, as a person who has lied, not very often. I have not lied very often. That was in my younger years about candy, something small like candy or um, or sneaking marijuana from my grandmother and stuff like that. Uh, as a person who has cheated, though, more than I should have. Granted, it was a part of a relationship that I refused to put a title on, that I refused to make official, but for all intents and purposes, that person was my significant other, and I was unfaithful at the very least. Even though I told her that we were not official, it was expected that I would respect her and not sleep with other people. And so I had gone against that and I slept with other people. But I did not do so out of lust. And there are different reasons for why people do the things that they do. But I assure you that has not disqualified me from being a person that can improve the integrity of your soul. Some of you may not need a lot of work. There's an individual on YouTube by the name of Dapper Dev. If you would watch his videos, maybe I can attach his link in the description below. It's very exhausting to do a lot of that stuff, but I'll see what I can do. Quality. There is there are female cards in the tarot. Females do take a role. If I'm not mistaken, that means a page is also a male as well. I'm checking right now. No, it's not a page. By the second, by the sub definition, as I'll call it, it's a young boy attending a bride at a wedding. But by the first power of the second power, a young person employed in a hotel or other establishment to run errands, open doors, etc. But then it's a boy in training for knighthood. So it's masculine influence, but and it's better this way because you need to know your roles. You need to know where you stand. I can't, however, read this beyond. I can read this I can read this with quite a bit of depth. For my knights that are in relationships, or rather, for my females that are in relationship with a knight, specifically, now this could go two ways. I can narrow this down and interpret this as Libra, for my females that are in relationships with Libras that are watching this. I need you to conscript your husband into my army, into my forces. In exchange, I will put pages, Geminis, under their command. Someone once told me that I should start a cult. And there's already been a bad history with cults. Specifically, people of my skin color and cults. What I want, and I'll be very clear and honest about this, what I want is a force that can fight my own mistakes. I want my significant other back to return to me. But she is adamant about not returning. Money will not impress her. At least my money won't. And so, to fill the void for the rest of my existence, if I'm not mistaken, the word I want to use is mogul. I want to become a mogul, an important or powerful person, especially in the film or media industry. I suppose through media, through social media and stuff like that, we can count that. But I want to become a mogul. To fill the void. Stop, flipped out. I'm getting that as a caution. To stop pushing against a wall that I feel even now. There's some force that doesn't want me to do what I'm doing right now, the way that I'm doing it. But I don't particularly care. Because this card is black and white, not red. There's no danger here. Now I do have a set of red cards, but for my male Libras, I need you to join forces, join. And I don't want to say join forces because that might make it seem like we're subordinates colleagues. And colleague was reserved for my wife, for the lover that I lost. I had ample chances. The hardest part is going to be hearing of her start a family with someone else, locking her off from me forever. I also see this stop as an indication to cease shuffling cards. I shuffle quite a bit. To go as far as I can with this one card. And this is one card, not counting the stop card, obviously. But I was using that as it fell out, and so I took it. I had no intention of drawing or pulling a card. I'm also seeing this as an indication to stop recording, as I've made my message very clear. I'm recruiting you into my army. Hopefully no one calls it a cult. Ladies, there's a place for you in it as well, just because the tarot is showing you in a different way. If I designed my own tarot deck, you would be in it. There would be a card specifically for you that was equivalent to the night, but I see you through the night. For my single ladies, I'm not sure how your role will differ or be similar to that of the males. But what I will tell you is that I have no intention of sex trafficking, that I have no intention, and intention means a lot to me, of making you do outlandish things. I don't want to sound morbid. I was going to say with what time I have left on this world, although that is true. I intend to be here for a very long time. With the time that has been afforded to me, with the way it's been afforded to me due to my choices, our goal, that is your goal and my goal, is to make me as powerful as possible so that I can begin to complete the great work, so that I can begin to have real influence on a global setting. Suddenly the tarot seems very limited to me. I need cards. It doesn't feel like I have enough tools in my deck, in any of the decks that I possess, to properly guide you. I need maybe one. Maybe I have one. I need a deck that can point out specific actionable steps without the use of a person other than the person I'm talking to or the people that I'm talking to. Ladies, what do you get out of helping me become more powerful, to become a mogul? It's not that I'm trying to be persuasive. It's that I believe in exchange, in transaction. That I believe you should get something concrete for your support. Your subscription will go a long way, and eventually your money as well. I got a vision of various tarot readers, some booked for years in advance because of how many followers they have. Nine of Swords. Flipped over. I don't have the time, given the pace that I go at, to do the reading the way I would like to. Put that card back. Interesting. I think this is the Knight of Wands. My Aries. In truth, I'm already asking a question, which I don't want to do. I just want to get straight into interpreting it as I pull it, but I want it to know what I could offer you. And another knight came out. In this deck, there's a woman here. But the word knight is still strong. What I'm picking up is that the female companions of the Knight of Wands are fighters. I'm getting like a Ronda Rousey feel. Name dropping doesn't necessarily help because they have to be a very, very big name for everybody to know what that is. But Ronda Rousey is a MMA fighter. That's two knights. When clarifying, what one night, for one night, I got another, which is exactly what I was afraid would happen. Because it's hard for me not to look at this as people. And this is really what it's all about. It's getting people to do things for other people. And that is the hardest task in the world because it's like moving mountains. it can happen in a way that doesn't feel like moving mountains, but it's often, in my opinion, there's a secret sauce to making that happen. And that secret sauce, if you were in on it, you'd find it's not that special. It's something that cuts out the authenticity, that there is struggle in getting to people to move. There is struggle in getting people to click on videos, subscribe, feel it's worth their time. Make no mistake, I care about this planet more than I care about the species. But make no mistake, I'm not entirely certain if this planet is a prison for me or a place for me to liberate. I want power. I want to be a mogul. To escape my confines. To break my chains. Karma and freedom. Normally don't take two, I just take one. But I'll take it this time. It's in the cards as the Knight of... In Vedic astrology, my ascendant is Leo. So one of my big three is a fire sign, but it's not Aries. My Aries placement is in a situation that deals with sex a lot, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can check. Yeah. Typing in my password and stuff. Marquez Farms. outlook.com. No, that's not my password. Return, just to make sure. Hopefully this works. It's automatically logged in on my phone. I gotta do a password reset. Almost there. Okay. Yeah. Aries is in the 8th house in my chart. Right there. Aries. 8th house. So I was going to say it has a lot to do with sex. And I just want to escape it. I want to escape sex. I want to escape the mundane. I never intended to cheat or have sex with the people that I had sex with outside of my relationship. It was supposed to be a strong talk, a very emotional talk. I suppose you could say this is emotionally cheating, but it wasn't supposed to be emotionally cheating either. It was supposed to be talking about my concerns, my doubts as to why I felt that I shouldn't be with my person. And whether or not they were the person for me. But in my heart of hearts, I know it's a bit cliche to say, and as time went on, I knew that there was no other person for me. That relationship or situationship lasted 8 years. I'm 31 at the time of this video. That's a very significant chunk of my life, and it happened in a crucial stages of my life. I met her around 15 or 16. The karma is that I live without my Queen of Swords. She was an Aquarius. That is my karma. I feel it's important to iterate that for the most part, I told her about every encounter. I say for the most part because there was one, maybe two, mostly one, where I delayed telling her, but I told her nonetheless. She did not have to find out. I always told her that I slept with someone because I understood that she deserved the choice to process that information and do with it as she will. The last time I did it, she decided that the relationship was to end. And now my karma is to live without her. With that comes a degree of freedom, and I get this thing about freedom. Finding the right amount of it, I think, escapes a lot of people. And the right amount is an amount that you're comfortable with. And I'm not comfortable with the amount of freedom I have. Whether that be because I have too much, or whether that be because I have too little. I'm not comfortable with the amount of freedom that I have. And I suspect neither are you, or I interpret that you aren't either. But we can make a better society. There is still conquest to reach for. There's this commercial that I see for something called charity water. And one of the things he says is that all babies do is eat, pee, and poop. I suppose the only thing that changes in adulthood is eat, pee, poop, talk, and fuck. And work. I suppose, and work. Some of us. Most of us. I'll use this deck. I struggle to find the real value that I can offer you. I've given you actionable steps. First actionable step is to join my army. Is to place yourself under my command. But I haven't told you why. I haven't given you a blatant reason why in words. And that's what I want to provide to you. It's what you deserve. Inner flame. Ignite your inner flame and let it fuel your journey, guiding you to fulfill your soul's vision. It's going to take a lot of resources, a lot of money. It's going to take a jump that I don't even know how I'm going to make. How I'll take my social media following, how I'll take my influence, how I'll take that and convert it into currency that can purchase me audience with some of the greatest scientists on the planet. So that not just scientists, but builders, so that I can get them to do the great work. So that I can contribute to the great work more than I do now. And the great work, it's about getting more power, not just for myself, but all of humanity. I am not scared of what y'all will become. it does bother me to think that you'll be more difficult to deal with more power than you are now. That bothers me. That's what I have for you today. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Do these things to show me you're with me. I won't ask anything of you that is beyond your means. You'll be in good leadership. I won't lead you astray. Now, I don't know how you feel about the second coming or Jesus Christ or the kingdom of heaven being on earth, and where I fit in all of that, where this talk of the emperor of the age of Aquarius, I can't reconcile that for you. All I can tell you is that I'm baptized and that I am not waiting. All I can tell you is that an event Jesus Christ returns. I don't know how I'm going to recognize him. I don't think I've been here before. Maybe he'll have an aura of power that communicates gravity, gravitas. Maybe not, but, and not to say that the Bible is full of contradictions. I haven't, but it does say that you're only appointed to live once. So how can there be a second coming? Of course, you could say that Jesus Christ breaks or is the exception to all the rules. Or you can accept that he is dead, he is gone, and that the second coming was foretelling that another will pick up the work, that another will go forward to ensure that the kingdom of heaven is created. This would be very tough because I have to convert all of you. I have to convert your souls or change your souls to make sure you're truly purified for the kingdom of heaven, for heaven on earth. And that's so tough. Because I don't have a tolerance for people who don't try to purify their own souls as I do every day. Some might call this shadow work. Light work is what you do with that purified soul. Shadow work is the act of purifying your soul. And that just kind of came to me. I haven't seen that written anywhere or said anywhere. But thank you for watching. Have a nice day or night wherever you are. Serpent Holder out.